Hey there, welcome to day 58 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 1197 after 2 wins yesterday. So we might just be one game away from 1200 if we can get a win here. So let's see. We'll jump into a 15-minute rapid game and see what we get. Okay, we're up against an 1179. Okay, I don't see that too often. I'm just going to play... Should I play the Caro-Kann, I guess, against this? I guess, I don't know. I'm sure it's better to just play straight for the center, but I'm just going to do what I'm a little more comfortable with. Okay. Yeah, just gonna play that anyway. Caro-Kann setup, even if it's maybe not optimal against this opening. I don't know what this opening is. I think it's like a real opening. Does it say in the corner? Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't say anything in the corner where it normally shows what the opening is. He's taken his time on this move. I guess he's thinking if he wants to take. If he takes, I take back, and then it'll, for me, just kind of feel like the exchange, Caro, even though the pawns are slightly on different squares. Well, my pawns will be the same, but his are different. But he's really taking his time on this one. He's using up like over a minute. So yeah, if he takes, I think plan's straightforward. I just take back. We want to play the knight here, get the bishop out, and all that good stuff. If he doesn't take, probably the same thing. Start with the bishop out, and then play this. Connect it and just form a nice structure here with all the pawns. And then normally I probably would go for like c5 pawn break. Sorry, 1 second. Had my fan going. Forgot about that. Okay, so he does take. I'm going to take back. Pawn is getting attacked. It's only attacked once. He can add this attacker. If I develop my bishop right now, that is like a fork on these two pawns, I believe. So let's start with... Probably start with the knight here and get more support on this pawn, and then push this. And then we can... Well, then I do trap the bishop, but yeah, let's just start with the knight either way. As long as... Are we good on checks over here? Check. Knight does that. I can always reinforce it. Yeah, I think we're fine. So let's just support this pawn. Okay, probably will just go with the pin here. If he comes in like... Oh yeah, he can't come in like that because it's pin. If he does that, will I take? Probably not. I think I'll drop back. Because in this case, if he does come here, he's threatening this pawn. But I'll defend like this, and this one is already... Oh wait, no, it's not twice defended. So I'd have to go here to twice defend this pawn. So maybe I'll support... Should I just play with the bishop closed in? Maybe I'll just... I think I'll just play with the bishop closed in. And just support this pawn first. Maybe it was fine to go here, but... If he plays this, I don't really like as much putting my queen here. Maybe it's fine. Alright, he moves his queen to this diagonal. His bishop can line up here and go for a battery on that. It's supported by the knight though, so as long as the knight is our defender here, That's not too big of a worry. Let's develop our dark square bishop or our knight. Maybe let's get our knights out first. Okay, is he trying to push these pawns here? I'm not sure yet what he's going for there. I think I will just activate my bishop to this square. Maybe put a little bit of pressure over here as well. And then get ready to castle. Okay, he's moving with the pawns right away. Does he want to... What's his idea with the pawns exactly? Trying to pin the knight, and then you can't push a pawn because the bishop would be blocking it. So I don't think he has like a tactic to win the knight or anything. Double up on it, but I can always defend it. So I'm not sure his idea exactly there. I think I'm just going to castle. If he pushes this, I need to move the knight. I might just play this first. I guess actually if he does keep pushing here, it will lock in my bishop further. So if I play here and then here, then my bishop is totally locked in. How can I make sure my bishop will remain free? Wait, I could play this. Go here. Not sure. Not sure if it's that great. Go here. If I go here and he pushes, knight can come here, threatening to take and double his pawn. If he takes, put more pressure here. If I move the knight and he checks, bishop blocks, this comes in. Maybe that's an issue, so I think I should just castle, and if he pushes, I'll still just move the knight here. Wait, is there any kind of tactic here? Take, knight takes back, threatening the queen. Is there... I don't think there's quite a tactic there. There almost could be, like trying to fork this square after the queen moves, but the queen can move to some other place where it protects the c2 square. So that tactic would not work. I mean, I would only be down one material point, but if it doesn't immediately give me a tactic, then I'm not going to do it. And I'm castled and his king is still kind of in the center. So maybe I should focus on opening the center up. Okay, well, he's putting pressure on this pawn, but I still have this to defend from mate. Does he have a way to remove the knight as a defender? If he goes here, yeah, that potentially could be a problem. So I probably should... This knight is undefended, and the queen could potentially take it if the knight moves. But going here doesn't do anything, it just loses a pawn. If I go here, I'm threatening to win this pawn and threatening the knight at the same time. Knight can hop back to protect the pawn, I think. That could be interesting though. But if I jump the knight away from the defense of h7, then it does open up the possibility of the bishop coming over as well. And I guess I would push a pawn to block that. So either I could just kick him like this, which could be okay, I think. I'll have to go back. Maybe I'll just do that. That seems a little bit simpler. Or do I go for this? He hops back. Oh wait, no, never mind. If I do this, he can just mate right away, so that would be a terrible blunder. So let's just do this and kick him away first and keep our knight preventing the mate. interesting. So if I take, he takes, and then the mate threat is renewed. But if he can't do it right away. He can't mate right away because the knight blocks it. And then if I move the rook, I think I gain enough time to escape even if he tries to trade the knight off. So I think I'm okay, but the last time I was in a similar situation, I miscalculated and then got checkmated. So hopefully I'm not mistaken there. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, I think that I can take, if he takes back, he's threatening the mate here, he doesn't have access to this square quite yet, and I can get it protected. In fact, I could even, no, I can't block with the knight, but I think I move the rook and create an escape square. I think it works, I hope so. Let's just try. Oh wait, actually, oh no, yeah, I can move here actually. Once he goes here, I can move here. Because I actually I was not even accounting for the fact that the knight is going to be under threat. So I think I go here. Knight takes, actually, then I lose that. Here, here. I can just push the pawn though, right? Yeah. I think I'll lose this pawn. He'll take that back with the queen, but then once I push this pawn, the attack is blocked. But then I do need to create an escape for my king. Yeah, I push this. Or is there any better idea? Does this work if he takes... No, I don't think that works. I can take this pawn right now, but that just gets mated. I also can create an escape square now. Check over here. Because if I go here and then he goes here, then I go here, then he goes straight down here and there's no escape square. If I go here, he goes here. Maybe then I need to... I can't protect both of these squares. So I could go here, but that only protects this square. But this square is not protected. Here, here. Queen can't do anything. Yeah, so I think I need to create an escape square right away. Here, here, over, down, up. Guess he'll be able to win this pawn. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if this was worth it to take. It was a pretty good attacking idea by him. Let's go ahead and go for this. I normally find it pretty hard to calculate all the different attacking ideas when I have an exposed king. So normally the best thing for me to do is play it safe and just not let the king get exposed. Like in this case, I definitely didn't quite calculate this whole thing right, but I think we'll still be okay after I get over to here. But I thought I would be a little bit safer than I actually am. And like with what happened the other day, same kind of thing. I miscalculated the attack because there's so many different squares to get checked on and stuff, especially when there's a queen involved. And then I got mated really quickly. But yeah, he has two different squares that he could mate on, and I can't cover them both if he goes over here. So I have to rely on escaping. I'm a little bit worried about this pawn after, so here, or no, here, check up. There's the pawn. If the pawn comes down, I can trade it off. He can check again here. Ooh, that looks kind of bad, actually. If he uses this pawn, it looks kind of bad. But I think if the pawn comes down, I'll probably run away more instead of taking it, because I think taking it would lead to a really strong attack for him. Let's go here. Although he needs to move the queen first. Okay, so he takes that pawn first. And let's probably go here to defend this pawn. Keep it twice defended. That might be okay then. But now I do have to just worry about his pawn to begin with. Or I could go here, actually. Yeah, I'm actually, this type of defensive play is a really big weakness for me. I'm not very good at it. So I can't decide if I want to go here to defend the pawn, maybe run away, but then I give up the pawn. That seems really risky. Or it seems less, maybe a little bit safer, but losing more material, it's hard to tell. But I can always cover the king. There won't be any mate, I don't think, but I'll be risking a lot of material. And then this, so here or here. Here the queen has to move right away. Where's the queen gonna go? He can't go here with a check. Not sure where he goes. I think I'm gonna go with this first. And then I can always add the knight to defend this after. Oh, he has this check. Okay. I was blind to that check. Let's go king over here. If he wants to trade the queen, I think that's okay. Here, here. But no, but then he's gonna just take the pawn, so maybe I need to go down actually. Go down, protect the pawn. Yeah, I think I want to keep the pawn protected. I am double attacking his pawn if his queen moves, so I think I'll be able to take that if his queen goes anywhere. So maybe he just should trade it? I'm not sure. Trade it and then try to defend this pawn. I mean, his position is definitely better than mine. Material's equal, but my light square bishop is still completely trapped. I've never had a chance to free it up. And I'm still under a lot of pressure, and he has this potential pass pawn here. Okay, well, if I take here now, then I can win that pawn, right? Can't like go down here and sacrifice or anything. I always can escape. I don't want to take it like this because then he has the immediate check. But I think if I take it with the queen, then we win the pawn. Unless I'm missing something, which I definitely feel like I could be. Because like I said, this type of defensive play when my king is under attack and there's a queen that's threatening a lot of stuff, I'm honestly really bad at that. I need to practice it more. Maybe I need to do like defensive puzzles. Okay, let me take... I think I am okay to take. Okay, so he does go for that. And then if he checks me after I take the queen, that shouldn't be a big issue. I mean, my light square bishop will still be really trapped. I could also just block like this, but then I'm keeping the bishop pinned here. So instead, I think I'll just go probably up to here so that there's no more attack on this pawn. Or I go like this. Yeah, I think up to here because... Oh, no, never mind. I can't go to there because then I hang... No, I don't hang the bishop because the rook protects it, but the bishop will be pinned to the rook, which I don't like. So I think maybe I will go here. If he does threaten the pawn, I'll probably protect it with the knight. Okay, well that square is covered by the bishop now. I might just go like this and get a trade. That seems appealing. Because he kind of needs to trade, because if he moves it, then I take his rook. So yeah, I like the look of that. And then if he goes here, I take, he can check, I can block. I think that should be fine. So let's try here. He had a really good attack, but I think it's fizzling out after the queens are gone. And now we get this trade. Knight can come to the center. We support this pawn. Or I could take like this, but I think the knight is better. Now I really just have to activate the light square bishop, which shouldn't be too hard now. If I go here and then put it on this diagonal. Oh wait, no, because his bishop's looking at that and it's not protected, so maybe here and then here. But it is pinned to the rook for now, actually, so I would need to solve that. Oh, okay. I blundered a fork here. So I should have taken back with the rook. But if I go here, I'm threatening his rook. So if he takes, then I take. So that might be enough to escape. But yeah, I mean, I totally missed this pawn fork. So I think this has got to be my best move. Right? I mean, this doesn't work because the bishop's guarding it. This doesn't work. So yeah, I think this has got to be the best way to go. And because the knight is protected by this pawn, even if he tries to re-threaten the knight by moving the rook, it doesn't do anything. Whereas if the knight was hanging, I think he would still be able to win something. But in this case, if he takes, I take, and then I don't think there's any great follow-up. If he moves, he just goes to the check right away. Oh, he wants to get a check with the rook to get out of this. So I have to not let him get a check with the rook. So if I go here, he can't check with the rook. Like if I go here, he can check with the rook, and then he's good. So maybe he wants me to go that way. But I think if I go here, then it's probably okay. Wait. Wait, he just hung the bishop. And I took way too long to see that, but I didn't expect him to, so sometimes you just assume your opponent is making a reasonable move. But I don't think he was, because the bishop is hanging. I need to always double check if they're blundering, because yesterday I also missed when the opponent hung a knight. And I went the whole game and I never realized it, and then I saw it in the game review. But a lot of times I just assume that they're making a good move, and I'm threatened by it, and I'm not even realizing that they just hung the piece. But we still saw it. That would have been unfortunate if I had played something else. Alright, he's still playing. He's not resigning here. But we have a nice advantage. Knight's under threat, but the pawn's protecting it. I think I would like to just free up my bishop. If I can go here and then here, rook's protected. We're trying to trade rooks. And just make sure my rook's not going to get trapped or something. Yeah, no, I don't think anything like that will happen. So yeah, let's just go here. When I go here, I'll also be threatening this pawn. If he tries to threaten this pawn at all... Okay, he's coordinating his rooks a bit. But if I go here... I mean, this square is still covered. And he needs to react to this. So he has the open file, but there's no coordinated attack that I'm too worried about. Oh, okay, so he wants to go there, threaten the pawn, but I mean, I can take his pawn. I can also threaten his rook here, because once I go to protect the pawn, then he can come in with check and win the bishop, so... I think just threatening the rook, but then if he takes with check, then I move... Then I lose the bishop in that scenario too. So I might need to just move the bishop and accept the pawn being lost, potentially. Or I can move the knight here, just to cover so it's not a check and just let him take the pawn. The knight will be pinned, but he doesn't have a way to add pressure to it, because the king will still be here, so I'm still covering this square for the rook. But yeah, this is not good. Alright, I need to play because I see my time's getting low. I don't think there's a way to not lose the pawn, though, is there? Or, oh no, if I just cover it with the rook, actually, then I think it's probably fine. Because then he can't infiltrate at all. He can't take it with check. Okay, let's just cover it with the rook. These pawns are coming in. Let's go here, maybe. Actually, I do want to move the bishop so there's not this threat at all. Maybe I'll go bishop here. I kind of like that. Okay, let's just go here. Bishop is pinned. Let's probably just move our knight or something. Or maybe I'll move my king up. I kind of like that. Everything is still covered. But I need to open up this rook. It's pretty bad right now. Oh. Oh my god. I'm learning a lot of stuff right now. It's kind of annoying. That's a pretty obvious tactic there. Let's take this. Then could take back like this and try to get the trade because I'm still up material. Oh no, and I just hung the knight. Oh my god. Okay, I'm blundering really bad. It's the time pressure, but we're equal material now. but he's potentially going to win this pawn. Let's just give a check. Yeah, I was doing good, and now I'm just blundering back to back under time pressure. But he did blunder earlier too, so we both have blundered a little bit. I have to go back here, I think. Okay, let's where do I want to go? Probably go here. Can I just open this up maybe? Wait, I can take this with check. Obviously it doesn't win the rook, but it can... Oh, interesting. What's that about? I kind of want to go back now to here and just support the pawn and start pushing it instead of take, and then he takes the pawn back. So let's go back to here, support the pawn. That's... Okay, this can't defend. Okay, let's just push. I don't have much time to think. And I might try to break the pin on my king, maybe here. I have this check, but I need to keep the pawn protected. But I'm closer to promoting than him because that will take him more moves, I think, to promote. Right? Or I guess he can go here, but then, yeah, I'll try to trade it off. And I'm one from promoting. Yeah, he's giving a check here. What happens if I go here? That looks kind of scary. Maybe not good. Let's go down, maybe. Or I just cover it and we take the trade. Actually, I think that's good, right? Because now his king is the defender of the rook, and when his king takes, he has to come down, and then we'll be able to promote after that, I think. If he takes here, we just trade that. Which is what he does. If he takes, I'm going to take back. We still have the same pin. And if he pushes, we just take. Actually, we could take first. Take this, force him to trade, then take, probably. This game has been a mess, though. He's taking his time. I need to stop getting in time trouble, though. I didn't realize how much I was using, which I do a lot. And then I started blundering because I was down to like 10 seconds per move. Okay. Oh wait, so he takes right away. And then once I take, he takes this. I go down, then he goes up. What if I promote first, but then we both promote? Yeah, I think I need to take. He goes up. Yeah, I can still promote because he's still one square behind. He's not close enough to catch it. For a second I thought he was close enough, but he's a square away. Okay. He's not resigning yet. Let's just give some checks here. And maybe try to pick up these pawns real quick. And just get a little bit of time back on my clock with a couple checks too. But we do have to deal with these pawns properly. Let's give this check. And if he takes it, then I take his pawn. Okay. Check here. Can pin his pawn. Let's give a check here. And then now his pawn can't move forward, so let's just bring the king over. Let's see, do I just give... Okay, he resigns. I mean, yeah, I don't know why... There's no way he's gonna come back from that. Wait, it just jumped me over to this random screen. Because I got an award or something. Alright, let's check the game review. That was a really messy game. I've definitely played pretty bad at times. Okay, 71% accuracy. It's not completely terrible, but I had a lot of misses. It says I didn't have a blunder, but I did because I hung the knight at that one point. It just, sometimes the game doesn't classify it as a blunder, even though it was just straight up hanging a piece, so it was a blunder. He had 6 mistakes and I had 4 mistakes. And we both had 3 misses, and we had a lot of inaccuracy. So this was definitely a rough game. But I haven't even pointed out yet that it actually put me over 1200. So despite a really sloppy game there, I did get over 1200. So yeah, 1200's clearly still blunder a lot. So if I can just stop blundering and always like catch the enemy's blunder, I feel like I should be able to get to 1300 just with like slightly getting better at catching blunders. I think people blunder pretty bad even up to maybe the mid 1300s or something, I guess, on a regular basis. All right, let's go ahead and go through the moves here. But yeah, it's funny that such a bad game by me actually is what got me to 1200. But I'm happy about that. We finally hit 1200 on day, I think it's 58. Okay. Didn't like castling here. It wants me to immediately... Yeah, I was thinking of maybe trying to go for e5 at some point. I guess this made sense to do it because I have multiple defenders of it. He only has 1 attacker, so I guess I should have just done it. This is defended. And the big benefit of it, I mean, 1, you take more center control, and 2, I open up the light square bishop, which stayed back here for almost the entire game. And basically was like I was down a piece for most of the game. That was a mistake by him. Okay, kicking was best. I almost blundered here by trying to like attack the knight and just would have blundered checkmate. I was thinking about doing that and then I caught it. That was a mistake. Okay, that was excellent. I preferred just going here first, give up the knight. Because this attack he got was really powerful. I want to see what the engine says. It did want me to play this right away. I thought that that was bad, though. Because if he takes en passant, I take with the queen. Here. Oh, because then it creates this escape square. Oh, okay. So that's an important element of calculation that I really overlook a lot, is like the new squares that open up, especially ones you're not really paying that much attention to. So when I played that, even when he takes en passant, it gives me this escape square, which I didn't calculate, so I thought I was just going to get mated if I took en passant. Or if I played that and then he took en passant. But I didn't account for the new square that I would have to escape to. So that is that makes sense. That's really good to know. And then let's see. Oh no, I didn't go far enough back. So what did I actually play? I played the rook over simply to give myself an escape square. And now he has a plus 1.74, so it's not like he has a mate or something, but he has a nice advantage. Going over, okay, that was a mistake by him. This was good. I want to see how I played the defense. These are all mistakes by him, taking this stuff. It says I get a chance to win a queen through a fork. Oh, I had the fork on the queen and the rook. I was way too focused on my defense and didn't realize I had an offensive move here. That was my miss. Game is back to equal at this point. We go down. I wanted to stay protecting this pawn because that seemed really valuable to keep that closed. Wow, he's just playing. These are all mistakes by him. I mean, I didn't know they were all mistakes, but apparently they are. That was inaccurate to take that. It wants me to first kick the queen with the bishop. So let's see. Then he goes here. I mean, so then this is cut off, this is cut off, this is cut off. He could go like here. Or it could go back somewhere. I don't know, I didn't see this as that threatening because there's so many squares the queen can go to that still seem kind of threatening. But I felt a lot better about just trading the queens off right away and preventing his attack, and now I'm up a pawn. And I can start to open the position back up. So this was only good. I thought that was really nice. I just wanted to trade off being up a piece. And then I blundered here, blundered the fork. I should have been doing really well. Blundered the fork, but then I realized I had this defensive attack on it. Let's see, his eval bar, the eval bar is still plus 1.4, so he has a nice advantage here. And what should he have played? He should have just... Yeah, I was thinking about this, that he could have won still by taking this. And then I take, and then he takes, and now he won the bishop, right? Yeah, he's up +2. But he didn't find that. I don't know if I said it, but I did look at that for a second, and I think I was saying other stuff, and I might not have verbalized that, but I did notice that I think he could win if he took that. I think I didn't want to say it because I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want to, like, manifest it by saying it, even though I don't think, you know, I don't think he's going to know, but... And then instead of finding the right move to win a bishop, instead he just gave me a bishop for free. And then he was in trouble. But okay, that was best, protecting the pawn that way. What was the other move I was looking at before I realized I could just protect my rook? I was thinking of trying to trade the rook first, but then he takes... Yeah, because then he wins it either way through the skewer. He's going to win the bishop either way if I don't protect the pawn. Or I just go out of the file, so then it's... I think it would be safe in that case. So I was thinking of something like that. I don't remember what move exactly I was looking at. Let me see what that says, though, if I went here. It's inaccurate, so it's not like a blunder. We lose the pawn, then we take his pawn. But it just isn't as good as defending my position with the rook, so that's what I did. Defended it. Bishop there, which was best. I felt like this was a good square because it kind of prevents his pawns from advancing while protecting the knight and controlling some other good squares here. He kicked it. We go down. It wanted us to go up instead to here. It wanted the pawn forward first. I think I played that right after, didn't I? Bishop still protected. We take that. This is good. Everything is opened up and more protected. So that seems like it makes sense. Instead I took that pawn. Yeah, I lost the bishop. But I took his pawn and then got the other pawn back. But then I just straight up blundered the knight. Which it only counted as a miss for some reason and not a blunder. It wanted this. It wanted me to just defend. the knight instead of taking here? Why is this not good? Okay, it is good, but it's not like the best. Because then maybe he could go here. But no, I have plenty of defenders, so he can't win it. What's the... I do kind of want to understand the purpose of this move. And it wants him to sack the rook for the knight. So what is the knight? What's so good about the knight that it wants him to sack? Oh, is the rook trapped? Is that what it is? No, he's not trapped if he goes here. Show follow-up. Let's see. Why is it not showing follow-up? What the heck was that? It like glitched out for a second. Okay, we'll just... What the heck is this? My game review is glitched out. The rook just duplicated. And now there's 3 rooks on his side. And my audio disappeared. Okay, well that's messed up. Let's refresh the page. And see if that resolves that. Okay, I think that's better. Let me go back for just a sec. So, what was the reason? You miss an opportunity to win material through a tactic. So if I go up, I win material. I mean, I'm threatening the rook. What if the rook goes here? I guess it's just that I win the pawn then. But that pawn was already traded for a bishop, so I already lost material from that. Once my bishop was here and he pinned that, I should have played this first. Then, if he pins, then I just take this. So instead he takes, I take. He still gets to do this though, right? Oh no, but then I get the fork. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so I had a nice defensive move there, which was pushing the pawn, but I failed to see that the bishop was actually about to be taken with the pawn anyway, so I never even looked at that. And then, yeah, this felt a little bit rough, the fact that I hung the knight, but we still, all it did was make us equal, because he hung a piece earlier. We're back to equal. That was a mistake by him. We had this nice move to take first, and then this gave us the really good pass pawn. It wanted me to take the rook right away. I didn't want to, because I thought that if I take and he takes, I'll have no way to... Oh, I will be able to protect the pawn, because I can just slide this rook over, because I only need one piece to defend the pawn now. I thought this rook was still glued to the pawn, but it's not once this one is gone. That's why I didn't take. If I wasn't so low on my clock, I might have seen that. So here, here, and then here, right? Yeah. So then we still get the advantage of the passed pawn. That's the only reason I didn't take. Because in my mind, I thought I was giving up the pawn. Once he played this, instead of blocking the pawn, it looks like it was game over, basically. Yeah. There's no way for him to get his pawn across all this and promote in time when mine is 1 square away. Okay, covering this with the rook was the best. This was all good. We take that. We can take, and he's 1 square too short of taking back. Okay, that was a miss. What's quicker? He wants this first because it's threatening this, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I always get misses when I just have a queen at the end. But I thought that made sense to just push the pawn, get him to take it, and then take his. Just simplify the pawns off the board. All my moves are not very good here, though. I mean, it didn't matter. I was going to win anyway, but it didn't really like my moves at all at the end. But he went ahead and resigned because we were about to be able to get the king up here in a second and then take the pawn, and it was over. And yeah, so that was my game that got me to 1200. A kind of a bad game, but we made it work. Both sides blundered quite a bit, and there was definitely a few things to learn from it. And I got to just get better on the time management. I know people comment a lot saying I have terrible time management, and I agree. I know I have really bad time management. So if I can get better at that, because that's normally what leads to my blunders. I don't blunder too often at the beginning when I have a lot of time. Um, but if I can improve that, and then also just get better at seeing maybe when my opponent blunders, because I miss that sometimes, and also seeing pins. I missed that pin in the middle, and I did miss the pawn fork. Honestly, I missed a lot of pretty basic stuff. So I got to just keep drawing that in. But yeah, we hit a pretty big milestone, 1200. So 1300 is going to be the next big target. And hopefully I can hold up at 1200 for now and maybe start grinding towards 13. And yeah, this has been day 58. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on day 59.